Okay, let's work on question number 7. So this question is about the DEF Incorporated had 43,500 $1.50 preferred share issued. It did not pay a dividend to preferred shareholder in 2023 and 2024. What are the dividends in arrears, if any, at December 31st, 2024, if the shares are cumulative? Okay. What are the dividends in arrears, if any, at December 31st, 2024, if the shares are non-cumulative? Okay. So basically, we are saying preferred shares. There are two conditions. One is cumulative. Two is non-cumulative. Okay. So the number of shares issued is 43,500 shares. The dividend rate is $1 okay, per share. We learned they did not declare dividend in 2023 and 2024. Okay. So in question 1, what are the dividend in arrears, if any, at December 31st, 2022? Okay, if it's cumulative, so if it's cumulative, even though you did not declare dividend, they are still accumulating the balance. Okay, so first year, December 31st, 2023. There's no dividend, but there is a cumulative preferred dividend, 43,500 times $1.50. So what is that? Okay, 65,250. So this is the dollar that is just sitting on the balance. Okay, sitting on the balance. You don't have to pay, okay? But this is just number we need to keep track of for cumulative depreciation. If it's non-cumulative, right? In that year, there's no dividend. So you accumulate nothing. So it's 0 for non-cumulative. But if you are cumulative, you have 43,500 shares. Each one, the dividend is $1.50. In total, you are accumulating a dividend of 65,250. This is not a liability. You don't have to pay at all. However, in the future, if they make a dividend declaration, now this amount will be payable. Okay, so now the same idea for December 31st, 2024. Okay, the cumulative preferred share will accumulate this balance of dividend. And the same idea, December 31st, 2024, that dividend is still 0 because it's non-cumulative. Does that make sense? So now you add them up on December 31st, 2024. the total amount in arrear will be 2 years, right? Okay, and for non-cumulative, the balance is 0, right? For cumulative, you haven't paid me yet, anything, you didn't declare dividend, that's fine. But I just need to keep track of how many dividend I'm already entitled to, right? Every year is accumulating. So does this make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
And does that need to be recorded anywhere or not?
Well, you're gonna keep a record on this, but it
Mhm.
does not affect your asset, liability, or equity.
Okay, thank you.
Because unless you declare the dividend, right? Then there's no liability. If you don't want to declare dividend, that's fine. But if you don't declare dividend, the company is not liable to pay the dividend. So it's not a liability. But for the sake of in the future, one day you have to pay dividend, right? Because why? Otherwise, how you can get money out of the company, right? So one day the shareholder have to receive dividend, right? Because otherwise, they just what's the benefit of having a company? All the money is in the company forever. As a shareholder, what's my benefit? So eventually, I will receive dividend, right? So the idea here is, in the future, when you issue dividend, the cumulative preferred share would you have to pay the ones that from the previous years that you haven't issued dividend. So you catch on, right? You catch up with all the previous years. You pay them at one time. But the non-cumulative means that guess what? If I didn't declare dividend in a year, the dividend is 0 for that year. It's not accumulating, it's 0. Only in this year, current year, when the declaration happened, there's a dividend. But for cumulative, you declared in year 5, you have no declaration in the first 4 years, right? So in the first 4 years, you don't owe shareholder anything, you don't pay them anything. But the moment in the year 5, you make a dividend declaration, you will become liable to pay dividend to the shareholders, not only on the 5th year, but also all the balances from the first 4 years. Okay, so I'm just keeping track of the information for the future use, right? Because in the future, I need to know, right, how many dividend has to be paid, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good.